Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am so excited that we have got celebration starting today and our new mini catalogue. But I want to focus on one of the one of the joining products that you can receive during celebration. And that's this beautiful glass mat studio. Now, as a demonstrator, we get to order our products roughly about a month prior to them going out or being released. So I've got to have time to have a little bit of a play so I can come on and share with you the wonderful benefits of this beautiful glass mat. Now, I want to also go through that this is a joining offer. Okay, so if you're looking at joining Stampin'Up, this is a joining offer. So how does it work here in Australia? Before I start, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have been for 17 years. And I'd love for anyone that would like a team to participate in, to build that community with, to have friendship. There's so much more about being a demonstrator. So at the moment, for $235, you can order and choose any products that you like. Now, what if you're new and you're not sure what products to order or how to order? That's fine. Just all you have to do, if you're anywhere in Australia and you'd like to join my team, you just need to call me and we will chat about it and go through what you need. So for $235, you get to choose those products of your choice. You also get free shipping. It costs $169. Now that is amazing value. $169 is all you pay, and you will receive $235 of products of your choice, free shipping, plus this bonus glass mat studio. What an awesome time to be joining Stampin' Up! So let's get down to sharing what this is all about. I'd like to give you some tips, gold nuggets, and some ideas today. So this is the beautiful glass mat. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got little connections on the end here, which you can leave on or not. It's entirely up to you. That protect the corners. They are easily removed if you want to use your centimetre ruler, which is on each side here. And you have inches on each side here, which is amazing. I love this because there's just so much you can do with this. Now, the other thing that you can do that comes with this is your cleaning cloth. Okay, this is a beautiful cleaning cloth. It's a chamois, it's thin, it's flexible. You just need to add water to it. And to store it at night, you can either just store it straight onto your mat like this, or you can just fold it and store it in one of our clear containers. Now, I quite often get asked when I talk about these clear containers, can you purchase them from Stampin' Up? Yes, you can, and they're fantastic. So all you need to do is go to your annual catalogue and have a look. You get a set of 4. They are fantastic. I actually decorated up my one here that I've had decorated for years for my chamois, which is what I clean my stamps on. Absolutely amazing. They will stain, the chamois will stain, but you just rinse them out in cold water. Now, if you're going to store them in the container, do not wash them out in hot water because they will smell. That's the only thing I can say. Make sure you wash them out in cold water. You don't want them to get bacteria on them or anything like that. So you just want to wash them out in cold water. And then that way it doesn't steam up in there and you can store it overnight. But the other perfect way of doing it is just leaving it on your mat at night. It keeps it in shape and then you can just wet it in the morning if need be. Now, this second thing that comes with this beautiful glass mat studio is our silicone mat here. I love this because it's got where you can use your water painter on it. You've got a section for your 4 ink spots, which is fantastic for anyone that loves the kits because you can put 4 in there. You also can add ink refills in here to do painting. There's just so much. Your sponge jobbers can sit in there. When you're using your brayer, you can use your brayer in here. You can use also your blender brushes. There is just so much. So let's do a little bit of a share. Okay, so I have got, I'm just going to sit that down here on my studio, so which is really good. Now the other thing that before I share anything, I just want to mention that it's got rubber feet and it's got this white backing with grey grid work on it, which is fantastic. Now you can either clean your mat with water or alcohol spray. I have a water spray bottle here that I decorated up years ago with washing tape. And then I also have my icicle alcohol if I need it, which at the moment I haven't had to use it at all. I've just used water and the chamois. It's a non-slip multiple mat, which is once it's on here it won't slip away, so you can place it wherever you want. I like to have mine off out of my way a little bit, so I like it off to the side. The thing that I also like about it is that it backs up to my glass mat, so it's quite easy to use. So the cleaning cloth is 21 centimetres by 21 centimetres, which is the same width of our cardstock, which is really, really great. And like I said, you only need to add water to it. Okay, so let's review what I love about this studio. Okay, so it's fantastic value. It's worth $106 here in Australia for your studio. Glass mat studio comes with these 3 things. So it comes with your silicone mat, it comes with your chamois cleaner and the mat, the big glass mat, which is beautiful. So that's excellent. It's valued at $106. Now this is yours free if you decide to join my team during celebration. Stampin'Up is giving everyone that joins through celebration 2 options. So this is number 1 option that I'm sharing with you today is the glass mat, and it's absolutely beautiful. So let's talk about the things that you can use on here. So I'm going to grab some cardstock because we need to have some cardstock up here. And the first thing I want to share with you is our masks. How many people love our masks? I love our masks. They're absolutely wonderful to use, and they can be used with a sponge jobber or they can be used with a blending brush. Now, I love the glass mat for the simple reason is that you can actually use some washi tape. Now, the thing that I love about this also is that it is lint free. So I love that idea. Now, if you're going to place this down and you want it, you'll need to probably trim around your paper at the end anyhow. So just hold it to your glass mat Okay, so pop it on there. I love that the washi tape is one of those tapes that you can just peel off. If you don't want it quite so sticky, just run your fingers across the back of it and it will take some of the stick away. Okay, so that's a really, really gold nugget if you're using washi tape, because sometimes if it's too tacky, it can rip your paper. We don't want to rip our cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to seal this down, and I like to just, like I said, take a little bit of the tack off and place this down onto my glass mat. Now this saves a lot of time, I think, having to put different things on your table. The glass mat can be used for everything, anything and everything, I promise you. Okay, so let's start off with a sponge dauber, and we're going to just use the boho blue ink. So I'm just going to pick up my ink straight from my ink pad, and I'm just going to come straight on and place it straight over my masking. Now the thing that I find about the glass mat is that it's solid and it's really easy to work any cardstock on. It's just absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite products that's come out so far. Okay, so that's just using the sponge dauber, and I've just used the boho blue ink. You can use any ink. Now our ink pads are designed to just pull and flip over, so that the pad is always downwards, so the ink's always wet on top. As you can see, when you close the ink, the top of the ink is always facing down. Okay, so I love that idea too. Now the second thing I want to share with you is I'm just going to use the Parakeet Party green ink, and we can use our blends as well. Now if you're going to come in from your side with the blends, the one thing I would suggest is that when you're using, I'm just going to put that one up there for the moment. When you're using your washi tape, come in from the length of your mask. Okay, so come in with the length of your mask. So we're going to place that down the side of the length of your mask. Now why? Why do we do that? Because sometimes when you're actually doing this, you might want to put your ink onto your glass mat. Okay, so you might have a couple of colors. You can actually load up your brush, really beautiful. And then when you're coming in, you're going to start off the side a little bit and come in, and you're going to blend that through. Depending on how dark or light you want it, will depend on how many times you have to apply the ink and how heavy you want it. So it's really your choice. But the one thing that I love to do with the blending brushes is to start off a little bit and then come on. Okay, you get that beautiful smooth blend through your masking. Now you can build up on different places. Look how beautiful that just moves around. It just lasts forever. Okay, I think it does anyhow. So, and it's really, really easy to use. So using our blends is another way. Now, the other thing that you might want to do is you might want to put a bit of Winker Stella on it as well. So I'm going to come in with a bit of blue this time, the boho blue, and I'm just going to add that down here. Okay, so you might want to add some Winker Stella through this. So you're going to pick up your colour and you're going to come in with your Winker Stella. Now, the thing that I find when you're painting with your Winker Stella, or you're blending with your Winker Stella, is that you need to actually it takes a long time. So what I would do is I would come into my glass mat and add some Wink Stella to that right there on my mat. Okay. And then you can just clean this with some paper towel, because I don't want the glitter to go into my chamois at the moment. So I like to always just wipe that off on a bit of paper towel first to start off with. Then come in with your sponge dauber and pick this up, and you can put on it that this is a Wink Stella one, and then you can just come in and you can use this on here, and that gives you a shim in your colour. Okay, so you get that nice glittery shim in your colour, and the Wink Stella doesn't stick to the glass mat. I love it. So I'm just going to wipe this off with my paper towel to start off with, but then I'm just going to come through with that chamois and give it a nice bit of clean. Okay, you can do it just straight with your chamois if you want to, but like I said, I don't like putting glitter through everything, so I just wipe the glittered one off with paper towel. So let's have a look at this now. You can sort of see that it works really, really well. And you can reuse your your washi tape. Now, the other thing that I want to share with you as well is that you can also use this to clean your stencils. Let's hope I didn't get too much glitter on that. Okay, so, and you can wipe over the washi tapers too, which is really a win-win. So just take that off, leave that on the inside, and now you can use this next time. So just peel this off and peel it to the inside of your mask. This is a really gold nugget. You can reuse your washi tape over and over again. Okay, so just stick it on the mask and you can use that over and over again. Now, it just is so easy, it doesn't stick. And just lift that one off. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the rip that I just heard, is because this one I really didn't go like this. I didn't take off some of the tack, but I can still use it. So now I can just put that away, and I've got my washi tape on there for the next time. So masking is really, really good and really, really easy to use on your glass mat. So what's another thing that you can do on here? The other thing that I really love, and we haven't got too many surfaces that we can do this, is with our alcohol pen. So you can write notes. So Monday, and you can put, you know, glass mat. That's what you want to talk about on Monday, so you can do that, and that can be on there, and you can use your alcohol pen. Oh my God, did you just see what I did? Now, is that going to come off? Are you getting a bit frightened? It just rubs off with the chamois. Look at that. You will get alcohol colours onto your chamois, but just wash them in the cold water. They will stain eventually. You'll get a lot of stains on there. So how awesome is that? You can actually use your alcohol marks on your chamois. So it means when you're actually stamping out an image on your cardstock and you want to colour, even if it comes through onto your glass mat, you can wipe it off. Okay, so just a quick little image here that we're going to grab. I just want to grab something small. Okay, let me grab this one. Is the inspiration sketches. It's a gorgeous one. It's new. It's in our mini catalogue. It's absolutely a beautiful stamp set, but very quick and easy to use. So don't forget, when you're using alcohol markers, you need to use the Memento water-based ink. Okay, if you use the Stays On, it will blend. Okay, so what if you just wanted to use this without a block? Okay, let's share something here. So we've actually put our ink here. We've actually brought our bird down. So I'm just going to put a piece of paper towel over the top of this, and I'm just going to rub that on my cardstock. And I've lifted the bird up. So let's have another go at this. We're going to put this onto a block this time. But because I want the same sort of effect, we're going to come down this time and we're going to stamp this onto our glass mat. Now just be very gentle because you don't want it to slide. Okay, and we can actually line this up a little bit, and we can come in here with a bit of a shadow effect. It's probably not the best one to share with you, but stamp, but anyhow, you can see that you get that reversed image, and it's really lovely getting that reversed image. You might need to just ink it up a little bit more. Then you can just come in and wash that off with your chamois. Okay, so which is really good. So don't forget to use your chamois to clean your stamp. Now let's do a reflection with this as well. So I've got another stamp set here to do a reflection with, just quickly. Okay, so let's do a bit of a reflection. So that's a mirror image. Okay, so you can sort of see that it's a mirror image. You've got two, you can colour them in, which is really, really fantastic. Okay, so let's do a reflection this time. Let's do the little crocodile, or you can do the tiger. Oh, let's do the crocodile. He seems quite cute in here. So when your stamps are new, just remember you need to peel off this white bit off the back. Okay, so you definitely need to do that. And you need to put the image on, but I'm not going to put the image on just for this at the moment. I will put it on a little bit later. Okay, so we're going to come in with our Memento black ink once again. So this time I'm going to ink him up, and I'm going to place him on my cardstock using my block. Beautiful. Now, this time I'm going to ink him up upside down on my glass mat. Now you do have to be a little bit careful because your glass mat, it might wander off a little bit, might get a bit slippery like it just did then, but it doesn't really matter on the on this one when you're doing a reflection. So I'm just going to put that down there, just going to rub on here. And we have got our reflection. I did him a bit over, too close. So let's try him again. We'll try him again. And I didn't go into a lot of explanation on that one. So let's share with you how to do this properly. Line it up to one of your lines on your grid paper, because that's the most important thing, is to know where you want to do this. Okay, so now we're going to, so you can see I've got it on the second one up. So I'm going to actually turn him around, and I'm going to put him just above that second line. Okay, so this time when I do it, I want to do it upside down, but I want to do it underneath the second line. Okay, so we've got that one, when you've got that one on the first perforated line here. The second one is here. So this time we want to do it under that perforated line, upside down. So I'm going to come down one line under the perforated line. Very gently. And then when you turn it over, you know that this is going to match this line here, the bottom one. Okay, and you know that you've got your first crocodile above. So we're going to place that down. We're going to rub it. Now the other thing that you can use for this is your brayer if you want to. You can go across the back of your cardstock like that with your brayer. And you can sort of see you've got that reflection happening there in the water. Okay, so let's go a little bit, one more step with this one. Just going to dry that because I want to put my card back on it. Okay, so let's do a little bit of brayering on here. Now, when you use your brayer, this is a new brayer, you've got two little stands here, but let's turn it over so the stands are facing upwards. And also give your brayer a nice wipe with your chamois to make sure there's no lint paper on there, okay, which is a really good idea. Then just come through and roll and lift. Roll and lift. You need to roll and lift it. If you don't roll and lift it, you're only going to get it in certain areas. Okay, so just keep rolling and lifting. Now, to get this to work really well, you want to roll it out on your glass mat. And it will slide around and make all different little marks here. We're making a water effect here, so you watch what happens when we come up over our reflection. Come back down over the ink. Start down the bottom and then come over. Then I like to come up this way. And you'll get a different type of brayering. It's different to our last brayer that we had. We had a very different brayer last time. It was more spongy. It worked differently. So yeah, you can use this one a little bit different. So what if you want to do a smooth brayer work? Let's do up on the sky this time. Clean that off your mat and just wash it in water. Okay, you need to wash that in water. Just dry it. I'm just drying it because I'm working on it straight away. And sometimes if you don't want to get your chamois too overly coloured, you might want to put your chamois down, put some paper down and wipe it with that first. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But you can see you get the reflection of that crocodile in the water there. If you want it lighter, you can come in with your blender brushes. Okay, so you can also come in with your blender brushes if you want it lighter. You can start off on your glass mat and then come in. So you can use your blenders and you can get a lighter effect if you want to do it from your glass mat and get a really light effect. Okay, so different with the brayer to your blends. Now you also can use your sponge daubers. If you want to, you can come in and just do, pressing it down, I've got a hair on there, and just coming in and making that a bit darker around that area. Okay, it's entirely up to you, what you love using, how you love using it, and you'll see that the blends are different to the brayer to the sponge daubers. You can do different things. Okay, so you might want to bring in another colour, and that's fine too. You can do that as well. So let's just quickly colour in our crocodile, or we're going to use, what do we got here? Dark crumb cake. Okay, let's go with the light crumb cake and then the dark crumb cake. Okay, so let's come over with our light crumb cake. Your blend is smooth. I can't tell you, it's so hard to tell you how beautiful that blend just smooths over having that solid base glass mat underneath. It really is smooth. Okay, so our dark one, we're going to use the other side. We're just going to highlight it in a few little spots. Do our little things up here. Up on the nose. And then you can get a little bit of a shaded pink, which I'm using the light bubble bath. And you can just put a little bit of that up on his nose area here. That's okay. And on his teeth here if you want to. And you can just highlight this up how you want to highlight it. Some on his feet. Now you can also add a little bit of blending in there as well. So you can sort of see you can build it up as much as you want. Okay, so that's a reflection. So this way is a mirror image. This way is a reflection. So you can have the reflection. You can even have the reflection touching from feet to feet. Okay, mirror image and reflection. Done the same sort of way, but fantastic to use on the glass mat. You can do it on the glass mat. So really, really bonus, I think, anyhow. So we're just going to quickly clean off this one, and then we'll go to our next little tip or gold nugget. Now the other thing that I want to mention about this too is it's heat resistant. So, but this would be a completely different class in itself, is that you can use your embossing heat tool on here as well. So it's heat resistant, so that's a plus as well. So it means that you don't have to move everything off your desk to go over to a special place to do your heat embossing. You can do that right here on the glass mat, which is excellent. But that would be a class that I would do at another time. So we also have I'm not quite sure where I put my water paper. We also can do water painting on here as well, and I love that idea as well. So there's so many different things that you can use. Now, our water paper, you don't have to use a big image if you don't want to. A big sheet, you can just use a smaller piece if you want to. Okay, so it depends on yourself. So let's go about 8. So I just want to share a little bit of water painting, different ways that you can do water painting on here. Okay, so let's start off with a little bit of blue for the sky, a little bit of blue for the water. And I'm just using 2 colour inks today, just using the Parakeet Party and the Boho Blue, just 2 colours so that we don't have to use too many colours for you today. So I'm just coming with the green and the blue. Now the thing that I like about it is that I've got my little spray bottle here, and I'm just going to go over the top of that ink. And this is my watercolour paper. Now this is another one where I'd pop this down, and I would use my brayer to let that soak in, okay, to the watercolour paper. Now you could wet the watercolour paper before you started. Just make sure you roll right off, and when you pick it up, you will get these different colours on there. Now you can come back over with the front of the brayer if you want to. Make sure you've got your handle up the right way, and just come down on your watercolour paper. It's a different way of getting that colour through. Now if you want a thicker colour, you just keep adding more colour. Okay, so you can just keep coming down and add some more colour. So a little bit up in the sky area here. And just let it dry naturally, because you'll get all these different background patterns on your watercolour paper, and then you can actually stamp some images over the top of it when it's dry. If you want to colour with watercolour painter brush, let me just wipe this up. I'm just going to use a bit of paper towel to start off with, because it's pretty soaked and I don't want it more wet. And then I'm just going to come in with my chamois. I'm also going to do my chamois. I'm just going to do my brayer. Okay, so say we want to do a flower on here. We want to watercolour it. Let's grab out our flower. Now you might want to do this in the same colour ink if you want to. As you're going to, you might not want to do it in black. You might want to do it in grey or brown, or a colour that's more neutral. So let's just do blue, because we're going blue today. Blue and green. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to grab and we're going to press down onto our watercolour paper. And you can sort of see you're already getting a bit of a blending happening here because the paper's wet. But what about if we want to bring in a little bit more detail with this? So I like to use my stamp and pick up some of the ink off my stamp and just come through and do a little bit more watering with, oh, this one's the Wink of Stella pen. Okay, I picked up the wrong pen. So you can do it with the Wink of Stella and get that glitter happening through on your flowers. Okay, so this is a nice way of doing it. Okay, so you can sort of see that works really well. And then This is my water painter. And your water painter comes in a set of 3. Now, when you're actually using your water painter, just rub it backwards and forwards. There's a little push button. You've got your water in here. Just rub it backwards and forwards on your hand and you'll start feeling it get wet. Okay, now depending on how wet you want it, to how much you squeeze or push the side barrel. Okay, so then you're going to come in and you can pick up, I've got glitter on my stamp because I didn't realise I picked up the wrong one, but that's okay. And then you can come in and you can watercolour your daisy with your water brushes. Okay, and you can sort of see that I haven't added a lot of colour on there. You can, if you want to, you can add a lot more. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so just little tips and gold nuggets for you. You can keep building on these until you get them to what you want. Now, the other tip is that you can just spray your paper and let it bleed in itself. So you'll let it bleed out like a water painter too. So just add that. If it's too wet or you sprayed it too wet, get that magic paper towel and just give it a bit of a blot off. Okay, because sometimes we can just overspray, we can get a bit excited. So just make sure you do that. Once you've got it the way you want it, then you can come in and you can colour more and you can add your colour. Okay, so once again, you can use your glass mat as a palette, put the ink down there. You're not putting your brush into at all into your ink pad then, and you can just come in and colour your flowers. Now, the one thing that I love about our water painters is they come in 3 sizes. They come in a small, this one's the medium, and then it comes in the large. The large one I keep for just sealing my envelopes. I just have the water in there. That's a really good gold nugget, and I just can seal my envelopes or my stamps or whatever. So you can come in. You'll find that if you keep on playing with this, you'll get this beautiful watercolour flower. Okay, so it'll just keep coming up and up and up. Okay, let's put that one aside because we have one more thing I want to share with you today. And that's our cutting tools. Woohoo! So let's clean our inks out of the way. Grab our chamois and give this a clean. And have a bit of sparkle on that one. It's okay. Now, what if you wanted to use our, I'm just going to make sure that that's dry. Our new pen, our blades, our new blades. Now, this is the pick tool. Now, the pick tool, you can add different things in your pick tool. You can put your putty in there, which my putty is somewhere around. But then you've got your craft knife. Okay, so how does that go on cutting paper? Let me just show you. So with a craft knife, I'm just going to grab my little plastic ruler that I have here. And you can cut whichever way you want. So I like to line it up this way. You can line it up coming down. I like to line it up going across. But it's entirely up to you how you line your paper up. Okay, and then I just use a ruler. I just get the my blade and cut it off. And there's no marks on my glass mat at all. Okay, none whatsoever. And it just cut that paper like slicing through a tomato. Okay, so the other end of the pick tool, we have our spatula and we have our piercing tool. But the other thing that goes, that you can actually buy to go into that side is your beautiful scoring tools. So you can use these scoring tools. Now, can you score on the mat? Now, that's something I'm going to just share with you. So let's grab the big one. And let's line this up on the line. And we're just going to come straight down. And it's scored straight away. So scoring, but the only thing I would use is when you're folding it is come in and use that beautiful bone folder to get that nice crisp fold. Okay, so not only can you cut it, you can score it. So you can sort of see the score line. It cut it off. Now let's try one of the new ones again. We've got our new one over here. Let's take our score out, put our piercing tool back in here. Now this tool is fantastic for taking little bits out of your dies or for doing piercing work around on your work as well. So this side we're going to take out now the blade and we're going to put in this new tool. Who's got one of these and not sure how to use this? So this is a perforator. Now, a perforator is really good. Say, for instance, we've got a beautiful flower down here. We've made our card and we've got this gorgeous flower down here. Let's just stamp out a quick flower. We've got a lavender. This is the painted lavender. This is absolutely gorgeous new set. I love it because it is photopolymer. What is photopolymer? It's a see-through stamp. So... which is really, really good. So I'm just going to place that on here and we've got our card. Just going to ink up our photopolymer here. And you can add it in a little bit if you want to. So we have a little bit of a border going down. Now you can just pretend that, or see that this side, the card folds over to, let's go, the card folds over to here, like this. So our little card sits in here like this. Okay, so that's our little fold out card, like this. And this is a bookmark. So you can decorate this up as a bookmark. So what we do is we line this up before we send it out to the people. And we can perforate it, so you can line it up. I'm just going to move this part of the card out. So we're going to put this in here. Put this where you want to perforate it. Now you have a little slider on here. I don't know if you can see that little button sliding up and down. It sort of covers it and then uncovers the blade. Okay, so you need to uncover the blade. So you can just line this up on your ruler and come across like that. It's now perforated. So when the person has finished with their card, they can just pull this apart and use their bookmark. Okay, so they can just pull this. Now they have their bookmark that they can use and their card is put aside. Okay, they can do what they like with that. You can even, at the top of this, you can punch a hole in, you can put some ribbon or a tassel in there. You can put words on here, you can decorate it up as a proper bookmark. Okay, so we can use our cutting tools on here as well, and I love that. No marks on my bench whatsoever for my cutting tools. Now, how amazing is that? So how do you do some piercing? Okay, I just want to share this with you. How do you do some piercing if you haven't got a piercing mat, but you want to do some piercing around, let's do this piece of card, around your card. So let's just do this. So you can use the piercing mat, which I have in here. We have our black piercing mat and you can do it this way. So you can just pop it on here. The good thing about it is your piercing mat will not slip. I love that it just grips to the glass. So it's all good. Then you can just line it up and you can pierce it every 0.5 of a centimetre. And this gives like a stitching effect around your work. Okay, just make sure you hold your ruler where you want it, and you can sort of see that this gives you great piercing to do any work that you want to do. You might want to join that up with a pen. You can do that as well. My Stampin' marker here. No. Okay, I'll just grab one quickly. These are our beautiful Stampin' markers. These are the new ones that have come out. Let me just share a little bit about these and our alcohol markers while I'm on these. They need to be stored horizontal, not vertical. If you store them vertical, they're going to dry out at one end. So the best way to store them is horizontal. So make sure you do that. Same with your Stampin' markers. Now these are like an ink pad in a pen, okay, which is fantastic. I love that you can use them all together. Now how do I refill these quickly? When I refill my ink here, my ink refill, I put this over the top when I'm pouring out my ink refill and make sure that it goes on it, that I can actually twist it around on the same colour. Okay, so that it's refilling at the same time. And I do both ends. Okay, so just a little gold nugget there, which is really good. So I'm just going to quickly share with you, if you want to do some stitching, you can do every second line. So you can come in and do there, 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 there. And you've got perfect stitching going around your card. Really lovely way of piercing it. You can use thread through it. If you're into a little bit of embroidery thread, you can use that through it too, and it just brings it up beautiful. Wow, so much that you can do with this glass mat, and I've only just touched base. I've only been having a play for 1 month. So I think there's just so much more that you can do with this glass mat, but the things that impressed me the most was that I can use my heat embossing tool and I don't have to move away from my workbench. I loved that idea. The other thing that I really loved was that I could use my perforating and my knife. I love that I can cut my cardstock. The other thing that I loved was using my blender brushes, being able to use my alcohol markers, the blends, and being able to write my notes with my blends on my glass mat. That was a really good plus. I really loved that. That came by accident, but it still works. And sometimes when you make that little accident, or you think you've made an accident, it can be the most gold nugget that you can have, okay? So celebration, as I said, is just amazing. We've learned how to do mirror imaging. We've learned how to do reflecting. We've learned how to do masking. There's just so much that we have done on our glass mat, and I haven't had to change over to all these different products. The only product that I actually brought in was my piercing mat to do a little bit of piercing. But other than that, you can do everything pretty well on this glass mat, and I love it. I love the distinct imprint that we get with our stamps, both with our red rubber and our photopolymer stamps. I haven't had to use my piercing mat that I use with my photopolymer stamps, I haven't had to use that at all using the glass mat. So celebration is on for January, February. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something over here. I'm looking for the celebration. Now, like I said, for $235 off free products, plus free postage, plus $106 value glass mat studio pack for $169. That's really great value, and it only lasts for January, February 2024. Now, one question I did get asked, and I'm not sure about, is the glass mat going to be for sale after celebration? Probably, but I'm not sure. Okay, but who wouldn't want one? And who wouldn't want one for free? So if you're wanting to join, and even if you join for 3 months, 6 months, you get to keep that glass mat. Okay, so how do you stay in as a demonstrator? That was another question that I was asked. Okay, so you've got until March. So order your products, choose your $235 worth of products, receive your starter kit with your free mat. Then you've got until March to decide whether or not you want 20% off your products following. And if you want 20% off after that, then every 3 months you need to do 300 CSV. CSV is a currency for all countries. Here in Australia, that works out to about $475 every 3 months. That's pretty awesome, you know. We spend that ourselves. So if you want to be a smart shopper and support your own hobby, receive 20% off your products, now is the time to join. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye for now.